Hey everyone, welcome back to the old family farm for a Sunday edition of Throwback Thursday. I don't really understand that, but you know what? It is what it is. We're doing it. I felt like playing old family farm today, and I thought, you know what? Bring you all along for the ride. Why not? So, first thing I wanted to check was making sure I wasn't bypassing anything, sales, things like that that we needed to take care of. I wanted to take a quick peek at our greenhouses. Didn't really need to travel to them to do this, but it looks like water's doing okay. The only thing they really need is water, and they seem to be doing all right. Doesn't look like the rabbits or anything are getting into them, or any one, including Bubba, who I now realize I'm going to have to watch out for because he does fancy strawberries, so we're going to have to keep an eye out for that. But it looks like we're doing okay as far as our greenhouses go. And just to take a quick peek around, I'm going to go ahead and boost up our walk speed a little bit here. So let's see what we got going on. So we are growing wheat in this field. It looks like we've got 100% fertilized taken care of. Weeds growing. I guess technically we could weed, but we're going to wait. What do we have here? We've got grass going. That's right. We just planted grass, didn't we? I believe. If I remember correctly. I think I also fertilized a bit when you all were gone. Excuse me, sorry about that. Looks like all of our fields have double rate fertilization, so that's good. Double application, so we're good there. We are good there. What's going on over here? Needs rolling. That's what we need to do. Ah, look what I brought over too. I brought over our Massey with a roller. Yeah, so we have good fertilization. I think I did some liming, if I remember correctly as well. But would not be the worst idea in the world. Oh, I did a couple headlands down here too as well for the rolling. So I think, oh, I know what else I did. I finished, I finished with our silage bunker. That's what it was. I compacted the rest of our silage down, and this looks rolled. No, it's not rolled. Okay. I compacted the rest of our silage down, and our bunker is covered, so it is fermenting. I'm always a little bit surprised at how fast this roller works, but I kind of dig it at the same time. I did pay off all of our hired help, whatever money they required. So we're good there. Hope everybody's doing good, having a good weekend. I know it's not too bad. Not too bad this weekend. The weather's turned a little bit nicer, which is kind of good. Going through not really a thaw out, but at least all that ice we got from that ice storm has finally managed to clear out a little bit. I tell you what, my car, ice weighs a lot, and my car had a solid, well, it depends on, it wasn't even, so it depends on where you were at, but it had anywhere from an inch down to a half an inch of ice pretty much over the entire top of the car. And I'll tell you, I fired that thing up and I let it idle for probably half an hour, 45 minutes, because there was just no way without a great amount of effort and probably scratching paint and everything else that I was going to get anywhere with the ice. So I just let heat do the work for me, more or less, right? But I'll tell you, that suspension must have just been screaming underneath all that weight, because I got just sheets of ice off of that thing, and tires were so thankful too. It's amazing how much ice weighs and how really it doesn't look like a lot, but it adds up quick. I was fortunate enough to not lose power or internet, which is good. a lot of people in my area did. That's always the worst, right? Well, one of the worst is losing internet's horrible. Losing internet is akin to going back into the Stone Ages, because it didn't used to be quite as bad. I mean, it was bad, but you still had cable TV maybe or something like that, you know, separate, or you had antenna. Actually, I'm going to stay inside just for a little bit. But nowadays, I mean, you're pretty much... I think I overturned that, didn't I? It's hard to see that rolled line. It's right there, I think. I think I over-rotated. That is hard to see going this direction. Maybe not so much for you when you're watching the video, but through my monitor, it's a little bit tricky. I'll see how much I missed. I'm not too concerned about it. I mean, we make money. Yield's not going to be too affected. Oh yeah, we did okay. All right. But nowadays, you know, you lose internet and it's just, there's nothing. There's nothing at all. I do have a spare, I keep a spare antenna, one of those window suction cup deals. I keep one of those handy, just in case everything goes out and I lose it all. That's gonna make me sick. Man, I am over-rotating. I keep one of those antennas handy because just for these purposes, you know, where you lose internet, you lose streaming and stuff. Plus, it's always handy for local programming, just in case. And honestly, it's not so bad. They do a decent job, at least in my area. I must not be that far from towers and stuff, because I can get a really nice high definition picture through what, like a $20 or $30 suction cup antenna. At least Fox is usually really strong. NBC, ABC, I think CBS in my area is generally the weakest for some reason. But it's pretty incredible that you get high def, right? Over the air now. It's a pretty stinking high picture quality for airwaves. I was surprised to hear there were still some stragglers out there that hadn't conformed. Oh, that was bad. That hadn't conformed to the FAA mandate about digital broadcasting. I think for the most part they have now, but there's some here and there that I guess that have yet to do it. I don't know what's happening with that. I don't know if they're just getting fined or if they're getting forced off the air or what's going on with that, but kind of crazy. And I was thinking the other day too, I do not listen to the radio at all like I used to. Radio is just, I just don't. I will listen to the radio in the morning on my way to work, get a little news, get a little weather, a little traffic. That's it. Maybe on the way home, but usually on the way home, I have my earbuds in already, or an earbud in, and I'm listening to music or something like that, or I don't know. It's weird. It's the radio is just not. I kind of wonder about radio broadcasts as far as money goes, like what these radio stations, how they're surviving in a lot of situations. I guess maybe there's still a lot of people out there that listen to music on the radio. I mean, to me, it's like it falls into the same category as like, why would I want to watch TV with commercials, you know, when I can stream shows without commercials? I never liked commercials, but I have gotten to the point now where I will go so far out of my way. I will go so far out of my way to avoid commercials when I'm watching television. It's almost like painful to have to sit through and deal with commercials now. Amazon's got this deal, you know, where it's, what do they call it? Freebie, F-R-E-E-V-E-E. And to me, it's just an excuse for Amazon to make more money, throw commercials into programs that probably used to be free if you were an Amazon Prime member. But whatever, right? But I'll tell you the one thing Freebie does right, I feel like they do better than other commercial involved streaming, is Freebie generally does very short commercials, and usually one commercial. Maybe you see two, but in general, it seems like they're very uninterrupted, or they're unintrusive. It's like, which is nice. That's, if I'm gonna have to deal with commercials when I'm watching TV, that's kind of how I want it to be. I knew I missed a strip here somewhere. It's so much easier for me, at least, to see it facing this way. The sun must be, no idea. All right, outstanding. I think we have got a nicely rolled field for the most part. I do like this roller. It's been good. It has a nice working speed. Needs rolling just for fun. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Whoa, man, almost forgot about my little stogie here that I was working on. Yeah. Whew. Need to watch that thing. It's gonna be a fire sale if I'm not careful. Have a little beverage with me, an all ages beverage, I must say, not an adult beverage. Kind of locked in, ready to do some old family farm. I got a message, a comment. I think it might have been from the last Old Family Farm, from somebody saying, "Hey, do you have problems with the tractors on Old Family Farm with them not shifting?" Like, yeah, absolutely. I've run into that. Definitely run into that, and I don't know. If it was just the original set of tractors that you get when you started the map, or what? I can't remember what. Wow. Just wow. That's I don't even know what to say about that. I can't remember though. I don't remember this Massey, I don't think. Did we have this Massey when we started? Is it a base game? I think it might have been. But it seems like as I've traded out tractors, maybe that shifting problem goes away. So I think it might have just been the base game or base map tractors that were causing that problem. I'm not really sure. But somebody was kind enough in the comments a while ago to tell me, hey man, you know, you're in a low set of gears, just upshift the gears, and that's helped. And so I've kind of gotten used to just doing it manually at this point if I need to. I just think of the Old Family Farm. You know what? There's going to be glitches here and there. There's going to be issues. That's the way farming is. I accept that. Hey, dog. Whoa, almost forgot about you, buddy.
Welcome, partner.
Well, welcome, partner, to you.
Farm.
There's some food for you, doggy. So, yeah, I did go ahead and covered up our silage. Oh, you got out? Excellent. I know I covered one of you two up when I did it. So we'll let that ferment for a nice long while. Our corn. Oh, yeah. Looking forward to that. We're in September, so October. I don't think we have much to sell until November, January time frame, I don't think. How's our cows? How are you guys doing over here? Let's go check on you real quick. I think you're fine. Not the place to check though, Brad. There you go. Health is looking green. Puberty. Excellent, eh? Looks like they have plenty of water. Don't expect any milk since we're doing beef cattle. What am I looking for then? I guess nothing. I guess they're good to go. Our chickens? Yeah. Let's go ahead and grab... Oh, I was looking for you. Okay, now I know where you are. Let's go ahead and grab... our John Deere. You know, I almost got rid of this. After our last video, I was kind of looking at the equipment thinking, you know, maybe the JD needs to go and get replaced with something, and I couldn't bring myself to do it. Just couldn't do it. I know, it's horrible to even think about. Weird that I don't have a shadow. I think that's creepy. The seat has a shadow, but I don't. It's kind of creepy. Can we, if I hit the right button, apparently I am not in a proper location. I am not indeed. Let's see if I can reverse this thing. Don't have to go very far. We've got a little bit of wheat. I think that's... Oh, we've got some barley. I don't think the chickens are going to really take very much, but we're going to go ahead and give them a little food so I don't forget to do it as I'm skipping months. I don't want them to go hungry. Little girls need to keep eating. I think the ducks steal from it too, so is what it is. Eggs are looking pretty good. Right side, I think we need a left side dump. Left side it is. And I always miss the dumpage site here, as I thought I did last time. Why aren't you dumping? Maybe it doesn't display. Okay. Just doesn't want to. Let's go right, left side. Do I need to be closer? Further away? Got a little twitching going on over there. Let's switch to the right side. I had this problem last time too, and I can't remember. You know what? I think it's... Let's try this. I think if I go to the back... Oh man, sorry chickens. I know I'm just wrecking you. There's no way I'm going to be able to reverse this of any value whatsoever. Yeah, it's just gonna... it's just gonna do... Hold on a second. Just turn your head. Walk away. It's in here somewhere. Oh, come on. Alright, now that's just frustrating. Ah, there it is. Alright. Like it's got to be there. In fact, now I'm wondering if we get out take a quick peek here. So that's the box there. So it goes out. Yeah, it should be out more this way. It's like, it looks like it's more inside or something. I don't know what's going on. All right. We got her, though. Chicken's fed. Mission accomplished. Only killed half a dozen or so. Whoopsie. They don't take a lot of food. It's kind of good for us because we don't have a whole lot to give them. There you go. Put that back in the grain silo so it doesn't get nasty wet or anything. We can detach our trailer now. We're not going to need that for a bit. And I'll tell you, I think for September, that's going to pretty much do it. I don't think there's much else going on here in September. I think we can skip ahead. What's up, ladies? Where's your babies at? They usually have little babies walking around here too. Maybe right now they're. I hope Bubba hasn't been around. He could eat a baby duck in one mouthful. All right, let's move ahead, I think. Why not, right? Move ahead to October. We know what one big thing in October we're going to have to deal with is the corn. Unless it's raining, of course. Outstanding. Boy, we lose some cash over the month, don't we? Hey, puppy, do you need food?
Partner.
There you go. Let's go check our corn out. I think she's ready. Oh, yes, it absolutely is. Ready to harvest. Outstanding. Bunker silo, where are we at? 88%. All right. And what else do we have going on here? Gonna have to do some weeding. We knew that was coming. So we'll have to deal with weeds here. And I think over here. Yeah, we'll have to do some weeding this month. What a pretty morning here on Old Family Farm. Look at that. Let's ride, sit, you know, maybe set a table here, have some coffee in the morning. Nice Danish, maybe a donut. Not too shabby. Yeah, oh, that's pretty. Yeah, looking good. Looking really good. What's going on downtown? That bell rings all night. It's kind of annoying. Boy, people are tipping one back this early? Jeez. You know, it's always scary when you hear a lot of action happening behind closed doors and windows like this. You kind of wonder what exactly is going on in there. What exactly is going on? Yes, I did say that. Pretty morning here, though. Yeah, there you go. This is where they come to hang out when they want to escape the farm, I guess. I haven't been downtown in a while, just kind of wanted to check it out. I'll tell you, one time I was messing around off camera and was doing teleporting, and I teleported half in and half out of this general store. Very creepy. I'll tell you that right now. Oh, I did it again. Okay, so you can go through the window. Nice. So I've always wondered what the inside of these buildings look like. Can we do that here? No? Let me in. It's a speakeasy, I think. Whoa, we can look through the crack here. Look through the crack of the door. Yeah, I don't think there's much going on there. I know, you guys are probably going, move it. Just get on with it, Brad. Seriously, dude. We got work to do. And we definitely will. So, here's the thing. Let me turn this off before it gets me in trouble. Get our Massey warmed up a little bit. We need to get a corn head for this thing, don't we? Yes, we do. Let's get this bad boy out and about here. It's a different kind of light in October, isn't it? I like that with these maps, how you get just a different feel, like a warmer light, depending on time of the year and stuff. It's kind of nice. All right, let's see if we can do this gently, so 10 Man doesn't yell at me. And let's see if we can get ourselves a corn head. You know what? We are not going to have it delivered. We're going to go pick it up at the store, like, I guess like you're supposed to do, right? Save ourselves a little bit of money by going to pick it up instead of having it delivered. Of course, all the money we saved having it delivered is now being completely destroyed by us running over our crops. But hey, you give some, you take some, right? I do like this Massey though. Very, very nice. Oddly quiet inside for an open cabin. Not sure about that. Boy, you must have just gotten absolutely filthy when you use these kind of combines. I mean, can you imagine the amount of dust and dirt that you had to deal with, and the heat? Ay, ay, ay. All right, let me make sure our delivery is not set up, because that would be silly. And let's look for a header. Now, I don't know if this Mathy wow. I don't know if this Massey has... yeah, it does not. It does not. Okay. So let's see what we have available to us. I think we're probably going to have to... I don't even know what it'll manage. I like that for 19,000. It doesn't really look like an American style. Well, it does say it's a Z-Corn Champion. I don't know how you can, you know, Z-Corn. Oh, Z for Ziegler? Corn Champion. I think that's what we have to go with then, right? A Corn Champion. Whoa. Ooh, a little error action going on there too. I don't think we have a lot of choices, if I'm being honest. That's for potatoes and sugar beets. I don't think My Game Steam's pack has one. All right, so we're just going to go for it. That case looks nice, but kind of expensive, though. If we lease that, it's $2,700. Oh, wait a minute. I just didn't look far enough. There you go. That's the one. That's the business right there. $255. Yupper. All right. Let's just hope it fits and works okay. And we will be off to the races. Let's get this combine lined up here. I think I'm offset a little bit, so I think it needs to go right in this area, right there. Yes. Very nice. All right. We're off. Not bad for $255. I think we can justify that amount of cash for doing our corn. Since we're driving, I'm going to do a little drinking and driving, if you don't mind, please. Sorry, I know if that was... I hope that wasn't loud or annoying. I promise you I will never eat when I'm videoing. That would just be even too much for me. Let's see here. Can you imagine just chomping ice while you're recording videos? Just going to town on some potato chips and ice. Yeah, that'd be great. People would love that. You know what? After some serious contemplation, this kind of looks like a Zamboni kind of thing, so we're going to go Zamboni style, and I am so going to mess this up as far as how straight this is going to be. I really would like it to be halfway decent, and I think if I pay attention and actually make an effort, we might do okay. And that's out of the window. That's out of the... Yeah, it's impossible to see the rows that way. I can kind of... It's just too hard to see the rows. And I don't want to make you all sick by winging my mouse around like crazy. I think I told you guys this all on one of my early videos, but I remember watching one YouTube video where the YouTuber, bless his heart, was doing a demo on something. I think it might have been the GPS mod or something, and I don't even want to show you what was going on. It actually made me physically ill to watch the video. He was moving his mouse constantly. I want to do it to show you, but I don't, because it made me... I actually had to stop watching the video. I was getting that, you know, that seasick, dizzy feeling, and I was going to leave a comment, and I just didn't know how to do it without sounding like that person. And I was so thankful that somebody else did. I looked in the comments, and somebody made a comment, and they were very polite about it. They just said, hey, you know, really good video, but it would really help in the future if you didn't move your mouse so much. It really made me sick. I ended up liking it just to kind of, you know, promote the comment. Oh, Brad. Oh. This is why you'll never be a combine driver. But it's the little things like that, you know, that I try to avoid. And I know I am maybe not the best at it all the time, but I am generally trying to be conscious of the mouse. I'm also trying to be a little more conscious of, you know, going inside out views. I try to do a little of both, or try to keep both, so that some people like inside better, some people like outside better. It's just so difficult sometimes to do certain things from inside the cab, especially without my head tracking stuff on. And I'm also constantly aware of the fact that I don't have the best audio setup. I've heard worse, but I've heard a lot better. And I think I would like to, at some point, invest in a better, maybe a better mic, but a better mixer, so that I can get volume levels a little bit better. It's really difficult to do that with just a basic mic and using shadow play. I've tried OBS, and honestly, I don't really care for it that much, especially with an NVIDIA graphics card. Shadow play, as far as GPU and CPU usage goes, shadow play does better than OBS. I know OBS is a better recording software as far as a lot more options and being able to do more with it. Shadow play's a little limiting in some things, but it does the trick for me for the most part. I have had very little issue with shadow play. In fact, any issues I've really had have been my own fault, if I'm being honest. One thing I've become abundantly aware of, though, since doing videos, is hard drive space. Thinking that I had plenty, and realizing that that is so not the case. We will... Actually, I am going to have to... I am going to have to grab a tractor and our trailer so we can do some offloading. I'm just going to get this mist corn, get it out of the way. I've looked forward to this. Honestly, this has been the one harvest I have looked forward to the most on Old Family Farm. For some reason, this farm to me just screams having to have cornfields, you know? It's just one of those, maps that you have to do corn, right? I don't know what we're gonna do with it. I think we don't have a lot of choice other than just to sell it straight away. I mean, we could probably figure something out with doing silage with it, doing some chaff, but it seems like right now it just makes more sense to harvest and sell. Speaking of, if we look at corn, June, okay. I guess that's when we will store till June. I guess we could maybe find a mod. Maybe I'll take a look. Maybe we'll get it siloed up, and maybe I'll take a look and see if there's a fitting mod for maybe doing like corn drying or something like that, just to add a little more extra, just add a little more money. I don't think production-wise, I guess I really haven't paid that close of attention to productions on this map. I don't think there is much as far as productions go. Maybe we can figure something out though. Look at the little corn just pooping out the back. Aw, nice little Massey. What a pretty picture though, isn't it? Just doing some old school corn harvest on Old Family Farm. Go out a little bit, just check it out. Totally reminds me of the beginning of Dallas. You know, I was watching, I was trying to figure out what specific harvester they show on Dallas during the introduction, and I don't think I have it loaded. Oh yes, it is one of these. It's one of these John Deere harvesters. It's pretty far away, but it's really obvious with the yellow top offset here to the left and stuff. It looks just like this running around those fields, and it would make sense in the 70s that would be 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78. Yeah, definitely. I don't think it had this back part to the cabin. I think it was more of a like that, I think, which would put it in that early 70s range, I think. Interesting. Well, maybe not for you, but oh boy. Sounding like my dad every day, more and more. All right, I guess we know when the harvester's full. Let's pipe out. And will this thing... Let's go see if this will take... Oh, watch out, Mr. Duck. Let's go see if this thing will hook onto our wagon or not. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember if it will take the wagon or not. I think it will. I think this is our... You know what? Actually, I think the Ford is our highest horsepower tractor now, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, outstanding. All right, let's go do some unloading. We really don't have a fast way here. I don't feel like cutting through crops at the moment, so we're just gonna go the way we need to go. Oh, this is beautiful. I don't know, there's something about October on the old family farm. Hard to beat. You know what? I'm thinking I kind of need a new thumbnail for the old family farm. Sorry if I'm making you ill. I think I can work with something like this though. Maybe a little over like that, so we can see a little bit more of the Massey or the International up front there, is it? And got the Massey. I think that'll work. Without putting you guys out too much having to wait. Let's get going. Let's get back to harvesting. So no word from Tiny or Betty Lou. Beginning to get a little more concerned about what's happening with those two. I mean, it starts off being kind of funny and honestly almost convenient because of having control of the store when she's gone. That's pretty handy. But now it's getting to a point where you gotta start wondering what's going on with those two. I wouldn't worry so much except for the last time they were seen. It was getting into the back of a military truck. Makes me a little concerned. Some people are speculating that they're being deprogrammed. Some people are speculating that they have had some type of a special relationship with aliens and they're needed for more study. Some people have gone as far as speculating that Betty Lou may be the bearer of the first alien-human hybrid. We already assumed that was the case with Tiny, but may not be. Yes, I do know I missed some stocks back there, kind of annoying. I'm actually surprised I'm doing this good, if I'm being honest. Bubba is heard howling at night, mourning, missing his kin. That's kind of a sad thing, if I'm being honest with you. Usually at about 2:30 a.m., I'm woken by what can only be, I would describe as two raccoons fighting mixed with cats having relations. That just kind of blend those two sounds together, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's disturbing, it's frightening, and at the same time, it's kind of sad. You know, Bubba's all alone up in the hills. I've told him multiple times, you know, he's welcome to stay in the barn. Unfortunately, he has a fear of being enclosed under a ceiling, so that's probably not going to work for him. I think when he was younger, maybe his family, maybe his house was in a tornado or something happened and was under a collapsed roof, and now he's got a complete fear of ceilings and roofs, and he won't go inside buildings. which actually kind of works out well for me because I can store things in our barn knowing that they're perfectly safe because he won't go in there. Keeping the cows in the barn at night pretty much secures them, which is a good thing because I think I wouldn't put it past Bubba to, well, you know, sample the meat. Although he does swear that he is vegetarian, I asked him what he thought that meant, and he said, you know, he kind of looked at me like, what do you mean? Of course it means that he only eats animals that eat, you know, plants. So that's his idea of being a vegetarian, which I guess is not bad when you think about it. If I was going to be a vegetarian, that's kind of the route I think I'd go. I would only eat animals that eat plants. Thinking about that for a sec. So you got beef, you're good to go with beef. You're good to go with chicken, right? Pigs, of course, you're good to go there. So pork's good, bacon. Oh yeah, because you can't take bacon out of the diet. So that's Bubba's idea of being a vegetarian. Doesn't like seafood or fish in general. I don't think we have seafood on the old family farm. I don't think anybody has ever had seafood that lives in this county at least. But as far as fish goes, yeah, he's not a fan of fish. He swears he does catch and release only. Humanitarian at heart. Patriot at heart, I'm sure. Flies the American flag above his campsite. I know that. Wasn't really paying attention there. There we go. We can do it this way. Let's get her unloaded while we're up in these parts. Nice corn harvest. I am pleased with how well our little Massey's doing. I would be very tempted to put a little bit bigger head on it. I think we could go with a 5. Is this a 5-row? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4? Or is it considered a 3? I thought it was called a 5-row when we got it, but it doesn't look like it would cover 5 rows of corn though. Just under 3 meters. What's this one? 3.4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that looks like a 5-row. And this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4. Something like that. I'll tell you, I'm having more fun harvesting corn with this little Massey than I think I've had in a long time, even with the bigger harvesters. And I really I've really enjoyed using that case harvester over on Kubota Farm. That's a beautiful combine, but harvesting with this little Massey, very much enjoying it. Something very relaxing about just taking your time, and man, that is some tall corn. You would be getting, well, I guess, yeah, I was gonna say you would be getting smacked in the face from the side at least, maybe sometimes. Remember when I was a kid, we must have visited, I don't know who it would have been. It would have been some family member that that lived in or around cornfields, and thought it was the greatest thing until a cricket jumped up and landed on my face, and I about lost my freaking mind. I remember absolutely being freaked out. I am, and I will say this without feeling bad about it, I do not like spiders. I am not in any way, shape, or form. Am I hooked up here? Let's see if we can get around. Oh, I see what's going on. There we go. We're going to give ourselves a little more room here on the end. But yeah, I am not a spider fan at all. I mean, little, big, it doesn't matter. It honestly, it just does not matter. Terrified, I think, is a word that could be used, and I'd have a hard time arguing. And that grasshopper landed on my cheek, and I honestly, I think if it were a spider, it wouldn't have been as bad, but grasshoppers are just, they're twitchy. Oh, freaked me out. That was the last time I think I went into a cornfield. Until much later in life. And then I think the next time I went into a cornfield, I think I put one of those hockey masks on, you know, like the Jason style, to protect my face. And imagine that, seeing a grown man running through a cornfield with a stinking Jason mask on. That's got to be something you'd want to see, you know. Screaming like a little girl because a cricket landed on my forehead. Oh, it's not pretty. Not pretty. And I was watching on YouTube the other day, the world's biggest spiders. And that stinking, what do they call it? The giant huntsman? The huntsman spider? Oh my gosh. Honestly, and what's, okay, what totally freaks me out, is this full? Oh, I think you're full. What really freaks me out is they love to be indoors. They're one of the main spiders that loves to be in your house. So there you go, right? And that giant huntsman spider can be the size, easily the size of your hand. Not a baby's hand, a grown adult hand. I would freaking lose my sanity. And I mean that in the most literal way possible. I think I would, I don't know what I would do. I think I would just, it'd be, yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about it and it's freaking me out. And they say in Australia that, because they're not dangerous spiders, they're not poisonous, they're not, you know, a danger to man as far as being bitten by them or anything, but they say that they are one of the most dangerous spiders because they scare people when they're driving. And I guess that's not very uncommon. In fact, it's so common that I saw that they actually teach in driver's ed there, they teach people to check your visors, your window, you know, the window shade, the sunshade visor in cars. They say to flip those down and to check them before you take off on a driving, just in case there is one of those stinking things hiding up there, that it doesn't jump out and land on you while you're going down the interstate at 70 miles an hour. What is that, 150 kilometers an hour? Because I'm not gonna lie, if that happened to me, yeah, I could definitely see just absolute wreck. Absolute wreck. That would be all she wrote. And they say that's where they cause the most problems for humans, is just freaking them out, just scaring people to death. Because they're big, they're kind of hairy, it looks like. I don't know what. I don't know what God's thinking. I honestly don't know what he was thinking when he decided, you know, what's supposed to be on this planet, and that came into his mind. They always say, hey, when you meet God, what questions would you want to ask? What would you want to know? You know. And of course, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, the truth about John F. Kennedy, who shot Kennedy, and excuse me, or I don't know, just different things like that, like mysteries of life, like who killed oh, what's that girl's, that poor little girl's name, Ramsey? Who killed her? Things like that. Oh, Brad, come on. Jean Benet, right? Jean Benet Ramsey? You know, things like that. But for me, oh yeah, I'm definitely wanting to know, okay, what was the deal there? Okay. Because I could go an entire lifetime and never see a spider again, and I would be perfectly fine with that. 100%, 125% fine with that. This is not going to be a good experience being inside here, but let's just do it. We have to go empty our trailer and get ready for emptying again. I am almost positive this is not gonna look good when we look outside. I think I'm missing. See how this goes. Didn't quite have GPS, I wouldn't think, on with the old Massey here. Can you imagine telling farmers, hey, you know, 50 years, 60 years from now, guess what? You're gonna have air conditioning, a stereo, GPS. I have to explain that to them. You know, with auto steer. Oh, by the way, cup holders. Yeah, cup holders. There we go. In fact, I don't see any cup holders, which I think is kind of a shame, because even back then, right, they had thermoses. Why wouldn't you have a cup holder right there? That would have been perfect. I guess cup holders weren't at the top of their priority list. Well, let's get this thing set up for an empty. I don't think we can see anything. Yeah, cannot. We could turn you off though. Well, this video is going to be a little longer. But I figured, you know what? We're having fun. I hope you're having fun. Getting this beautiful corn harvested. Especially on a beautiful morning here in Old Family Farm. Because it really, truly is. a beautiful morning, and I am just going to hit that, which is going to make my life miserable. Will it pick up the back dump? It will. Okay. So if we look at our corn, that's 8,000 liters. I'd say it's pretty fair. We're definitely not going to get another trailer load. And actually, when we look at this, so we've got South Elm Creek Railroad or the Hay Barn seed and feed. So yeah, I am going to do a little poking around to see if maybe there is a placeable we can put down to maybe make this corn work a little bit more for us, to make us some more money. And if I remembered right when I was poking around on the map, I am pretty sure the mod author added at least one cement pad for placeables, or gravel area for placeable. At least one, I thought. How much did I miss? Hey, I'll tell you what. I actually didn't do too bad there. Little surprised there's not more missing. Are you going to turn on for me, buddy? Not really. Don't really feel like it. Kind of hitting the start button nonsense. Oh, Brad. Hey, you all know exactly what I just did, don't you? Unbelievable. I must be getting hungry. That's what it is. I'm getting hungry. That's why I completely forgot to unload the harvester. Yeah. That's my excuse. All right. Now, take two. Get a little bit here that I was missing. And we're off to the races. But yeah, cup holders are exceptionally important. I hear it every time I watch a video on YouTube of a farmer doing a review on either a tractor or a combine or any kind of a self-propelled implement. Cup holders always come up in the review. How many are there? Will they hold a big drink? And how securely will they hold your beverage? We're just going to go in tight. Oh, Brad, you still missed it. Come back and get that. There we go. Ground level. Or we can scooch up and I guess we can do it drone style. But yeah, it's kind of funny because cup holders are such a big deal. I guess it makes sense, right? I mean, if you're going to be in one of these things all day, you know you're going to have a drink, at least one. You're going to want a place to put it. You're going to want a place to put it where it's easily accessible or accessible. So one thing I would say I have heard often when watching a lot of these reviews is John Deere seems to pretty much, I would say across the board, be known for having the best interiors, cabin interiors. Now that may not be shared by everyone, that feeling, but it seems to be a relatively common theme with when watching farmers do reviews on equipment, that they seem to either, if they're in a Deere, they seem to be saying how nice it is, the best stereo, things like that, or they compare it to the interior of a John Deere. So it seems like John Deere has a really good reputation for having the nicest interiors, which I think is kind of interesting, right? Because if I didn't know anything about that, never heard any comments, never watched any videos, I would actually I would have probably guessed that one of the foreign brands, or quote unquote foreign brands, like a Klaus, because when I think of interiors, when I think of like interiors, I'm thinking American cars versus some of the foreign cars, a Mercedes or things like that, But I think what it comes down to more is comfort, and maybe maybe us Americans, or we Americans, just like our butts to be comfortable. We have more butt that needs to be comfortable. Look at the old American cars, those things were power gliders, right? Those things, massive cars. The doors weighed probably 250, 300 pounds alone. The seats that were just like sitting at home on a couch. I mean, certainly maybe the quality, the consistency and quality wasn't always there in the later years, but comfort was sure never argued. I mean, if you sat in an early Toyota Camry and you sat in a Buick Regency 98 like my parents had, what I learned to drive on, yeah, no comparison. I mean, seriously, no comparison. That Buick, I mean, your butt sank in plush comfort. Big old bucket seats. And my family never bought new, or very rarely. In fact, I think the first new car they had was that 90, was an 88? Was it an 80? No, it couldn't have been an 88. Because I took it to prom. An 86 Camry? 5-speed manual, Toyota Camry. 86, it was when they were kind of boxy, the boxier design. It felt almost sporty compared to that ginormous Buick Regency. Or was it Oldsmobile? It might have been an Olds, now that I think about it. Was it an Olds? I keep saying Buick, but I think it might have been an Olds. But, yeah, I don't think my dad and mom ever bought new until then. I think that might have been their, I'll have to ask them, but I think that might have been their first new car. And like I've mentioned before, that's pretty much been all they've bought since. And I mean that, and I mean that honestly, like literally only Toyota Camrys. are always a Toyota Camry. I think they may have owned, I think my mom made my dad get her a Dodge Caravan because of the grandkids. But otherwise, once they bought that first Camry, that was it. And my dad always was very quick to point out that, you know, this Toyota was made in Kentucky and so on and so forth. I think there was always that little bit of guilt there, you know, that he wasn't buying quote-unquote American. But I don't know, nowadays, I don't know what is really fully an American car anymore. But in fact, sometimes I think Toyota and Honda are probably more American in some ways. Who knows? I'm talking out the side of my mouth. I don't even know what I'm talking about. All right, we almost got her emptied out. So that's another 8,000 liters there. Oops, sorry, nudge the wagon. So we've got 16,000 plus the 590 we have in the combine, so just over 16,000 liters of corn from our harvest. Beautiful harvested cornfield. Is that straw down there we can pick up? Don't know if that's going to be worth it or not, but I might take a peek at that. Are you going to dump for me? Not really. Oh, yeah, you are. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. So let's park you over off here. We need to, we're going to need to run that header back to the store. Let's check our maintenance. Ooh, $10. Ooh, doggies. You go broke maintaining a combine for 10 bucks. Boy, that does seem really low though, right? $10 for this field? Got some weight. The old girl's pulling some weight there. Alright, let's see if I can mess this up. There we go. Get our corn unloaded. Very nice. Let's see what our farm all has for a little bit of maintenance. Nothing. You know what? I think maintenance is turned off on this farm all. $2 for the wagon. We'll cover that. Oh, don't you go scooting out on me there. Wonder where Dog is. I haven't seen Dog in a while. Don't know exactly where he is. Let's head back to the farm shop and drop off our header since we're done using that. And I think this has been a lengthy episode. This might have been one of the longer Old Family Farm episodes I've done. But what better way to spend some time on the Old Family Farm in October doing a corn harvest? I'd say that's pretty good. Drop it off pretty close to where we got it. We'll lower it. Drop it off. Hop out. And let's return it so I don't forget to do that. And there we go. I think that is going to do it for this episode, though, everyone. I appreciate you joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun to get a corn harvest in. Our first big corn harvest, our first corn harvest on Old Family Farm. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you feel like. And Next time we see each other, we will be back on Kubota Farm. Thanks, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a great Sunday. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.